Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in Crystal Lake, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Monday, May 30th, 2023. It's not Monday. It just feels like a Monday. Today's actually Tuesday. I need to correct there. Yesterday was Monday because it was Memorial Day. We had a holiday, so there was no live stream. Today feels like a Monday, but it's in fact Tuesday. Oh, man, I'm all off. Today should have been a trivia day. Man. But you know what? We got an unboxing. We got a package from Kraft that just came in the mail. I'm pretty sure it's not under embargo. So we're going to open it up. But first, let's say hi to everyone listening in on the podcast, on the audio only version. Guys, it's getting hot. It feels like it's summertime out there right now. So hopefully you're staying nice and cool as you're listening to this on your run. Or maybe you're listening to this on the drive home from work. Hopefully the air conditioning is working nice and strong in your car and that you have a nice, calm, and cool commute. You know what? I feel like after the holiday, people tend to be a little bit grumpy. The internet is a grumpy place so far today. I just put out a video for the Reebok Float Ride Energy 5. What I call the budget shoe. It's $110. I feel like that qualifies in the budget category. But man, people are coming at me hard because I call the $110 shoe a budget shoe. And yeah, and then a lot of other grumpy comments as well. I'm not sure where those people are coming from because it's not like the video is doing all that well. It's not getting spread out by YouTube to a lot of new people, but definitely it's some new people who I don't think ever watch YouTube videos are commenting, and it's just kind of strange. And it's just giving me a weird feel for the day on a day where I'm already like not feeling great energy wise. I feel like I'm a little bit of a haze after the long weekend where I did have a lot of fun, but feeling a little behind on work kind of stuff and all sorts of other productivity things. So, man, it's just maybe I need to take a step back a little bit from the YouTube comments today because so far it hasn't been all that great. Although I saw Luis in there. That was nice. It was good to see Luis. I saw a couple of you guys in the comments already, and that was good to see. So that makes me feel a little bit better. But enough of that little side note and rant. But I also want to say hi to everyone before I get going. I want to say hi to everyone watching this on YouTube later, but not live. This is the #1 live stream to listen to while you're looking for shoes that may or may not be in the budget category. So welcome to you guys as well. Hopefully you're having a good day. Hopefully the internet has been nicer to you than it has been to me today. All right. Let's see who we got here in the chat. We got Patrick Smith, who's got a running shoe question. Is it time for running shoe Q&A already? Yeah. I think it is. You know what? Patrick, I'm happy that you're here today because I kind of needed to hit that button. That button always makes me giggle just a little bit. And so thank you for your question. And here it is. He says, I switched from the Ghost to the Nova Blast 3. Had Achilles pain the next day. And 2 days later, felt great. And I ran a 5K PB. Next day, did 10 miles and had arch pain in the same foot. How quickly do you abort a new shoe due to pains? Patrick, I have very little amount of patience for pain in my shoes. The Endorphin Speed 3 was one example of that. Where is that one? It's somewhere on the wall over here. Oh, it's this one right here. That one gave me pain in the pads of my right foot, like every time after about 5K of running, but it was consistent. So like I ran about 30 miles in that shoe and I kind of gave up on it. I think that my situation is a little bit different for my personal practice because, I'm trying to review shoes. So even when shoes kind of annoy me, I give them more time than I normally would if I were just a regular person running in shoes. I think because of the fact that a lot of places do have some pretty good return policies, I would say like if you've got 2 runs in a row on 2 different kinds of days, that the shoe's not working for you, I'd see if you can try to return it for some sort of store credit or exchange or something. Get something that you're happy with because life's too short to run in shoes you don't like. So that's kind of what I would say. The other thing that I would say is, you kind of had a lot going on in this shoe. It's not clear from the comment if you had run the 5K PB in the Nova Blast 3. It wouldn't be my first choice for a 5K racer, but it wouldn't be a bad one either. So like, going from a 5K PB to a 10-mile run the next day can be a lot for anyone's feet. So it might be something that the shoe may be exacerbating something that's going on in your foot, in which case, it's enough of a reason to want to switch the shoe. It's not saying it's a bad shoe. It's just not working for you. But there might be other stuff going on with your foot. So, I might give it another day, maybe try one more run, depending on, how much time you have left to return the shoe if you're not happy with it. But overall, I'm pretty low tolerance in terms of shoes that I don't like. All right. Let's see who we got here. Al Vox says, I hope you got a craft shoe to test out. Always curious about those, but not a lot of reviews on the tube. Yeah, you know what? The thing about it is that I keep reviewing the CTM Ultra Carbon. I reviewed the first one. Thomas sent me his pair because they sent him like they only had one pair to send him, and it was a size 9, and he couldn't run in it. Actually, they sent him 2 pairs of size 9 because I think that was the only ones they had. So he sent me one of his, and that's the first written review I've ever done. I wrote up some thoughts for the review for Believe in the Run a long time ago. I ran in that one, and then I reviewed the Ultra Carbon 2, and it was very similar to the Ultra Carbon 1. And I'm always very curious because I love all their winter clothes. I'm always very curious about the shoes that they have, but a lot of times I feel like while the traction isn't quite analogous, but I feel like the way that they design their midsoles in terms of densities or softnesses or cushion remind me a lot of Solomon. And so like I'm just like I'm gonna stay away until they start to develop maybe some different types of shoes or different types of foams. And I don't know if everyone's that way, or maybe they're just not interested in the craft shoes, but maybe that's why there aren't that many reviews. But I think they're probably out there. But there aren't that many models of craft shoes as well. You know what I mean? There's lots of color packs, but there's always not that many models. So maybe that's part of it too. There's just not as much to kind of select from. Could be. Daniel Burton says, Connor Mansell was unbelievable in the Boulder. What a kick. I saw some of the results. I didn't get to see any of the running, except for people that were fun running it, and that looked wild. I'm like, I feel like Boulder's like it's I'm sure it's been like that for a long time, but now it's like very much prominent on social media. And I feel like after a little while, that's going to go away soon. People are having too much fun. There's no way they can keep having that much fun. But it did make me wish that I had been out there for the year because it looked like an incredible time. I wish I could have seen the race. I'm not sure if that's available as an option to go back and watch it in retrospect, but I did see that he had won it, which was pretty cool. Good to see that. Mark Peterson, he says, yo, what's going on? Back at work from paternity leave, meaning I'm back to being able to pick my own lunch break. Nice. There you go. That was fast, Mark. It seems like that paternity leave was a little bit on the short side. So hopefully everything is going well at home. That means. Pete G 1980 says, hi, I just hit 100 miles in the Nimbus 25 and I'm loving it. Nice. I think I'm at like 80 miles in mine. But I'm saving it because I was like, I got a couple of I got a couple of places where I know I'm going to want to run in the shoe and I don't want to be done with it before then. So I'll add it and then it'll be part of the video for the 100-mile review. So I'm rationing the rest of my miles for that Nimbus 25. Martha says, yes, Connor Mansell was awesome. We stood right where he was trailing at the last turn towards the stadium, and he made an unbelievable acceleration to win far ahead. Nice. That's cool. Heather B says, I've always done this is another running shoe question. Heather B says, I've always done all my workouts in the Kinvara, multiple pairs to rest the shoe. Do I really need extra shoes in my rotation? I would say no. If it's working for you, you don't need different kinds of shoes in your rotation. But for me, like I'm a big fan of two things. One, buying multiple of the same shoe if it's working for you. I recommend that to people all the time. Like hoard them. Like if you want to buy 4 pairs of the same shoe because it's working and you're worried that they're going to change it a bunch for next year, go out and buy 4 pairs of the same shoe, especially if you can get them on sale. On the other hand, like there's some times where like I find the Kinvara to be a little bit low to the ground for me. Great for workouts, but not something that I want for some of like my longer easy runs. And so that's where like having another shoe in the rotation might be helpful. It's perfectly fine to have a rotation like all of the same shoe. But for different types of runs, you might want different things. If you're not doing a lot of like longer easy runs, or maybe you're doing your longer easy runs on soft surfaces where the Kinvara can still be fine, then, don't worry about switching it up. But yeah, a lot of that comes down to your own personal preference. Eliza says, hi, Co-Fam. I did my peak weekend and I feel good. Well, that's good to hear. Awesome. Luis is here. He says, yo, what's going on? What's going on, Luis? And Steve McKellar. Oh, it looks like, it's kind of like a Metal Monday because it's Tuesday, but yesterday was a holiday. So we got some race results. I saw a lot of other people racing over the weekend. Steve McCullough says, yo, what's going on? I got a 10-minute PB in the auto half on Sunday. Awesome job, Steve. He says he missed the goal of breaking 2 hours with the heat rising to the high 70s by the end. That seems hot for Canada in May. I don't know if it's normally that hot. I've never been to Ottawa, so I can't really say, but it feels like it's hot. I know a lot of the Roots running crew ended up over there. Rory Linkletter was out there too. It was the 10K champs. Isn't that what it was? Also over the weekend. So yeah, there was a lot of people racing up there. A lot of attention on Ottawa, which is not typical from a road racing perspective. But that's cool. All right. David Sachs says, hi, everyone. I had a massive 49 minutes marathon PR. That is unbelievable. At the Buffalo Marathon. Nice. Finished with a 3:05:49, missing the BQ time by 49 seconds. He says it pays to have a running coach. Well, that's fantastic. Wow. So your previous time was a 3:54 and you just ran a 3:05? That is just astonishing. That is such a huge jump. Amazing, David. I love it. All right, let's see. I think we got, is there another one? Someone's saying that Martha had a PR over the day, but I can't see what it is. All right, here we go. Martha says, knocked off 37 seconds at Boulder. Awesome. She says, though, even though she was tired and sure she'd be slower than last year, age ready time was 38:25. That's her only claim to fame, but Gnoza says it's fair. If the serious runner gives you the stamp of approval, then that's official. That's good. So congratulations, Martha. 37 seconds. That's nice. It's a big chunk from a 10K distance. Awesome. Yeah, Stevie76 says Trivia Tuesday today should be what's that smell? That could be. I literally just got back in from a run, and yeah. I did put on a different shirt just because the other one was soaking wet. I took it off on the drive home. It was just disgusting and hot in the car. It's already hot car season and it's just kind of gross. So yeah, it's a good thing that you guys cannot smell me from over there. All right. Oh man, you guys are way in front of me in the chat. Let me try and catch up with you guys just a little bit. Let me see if there are any more PRs. I just want to check. Davin Patterson says, yo, what's in the box? You know what? We got to figure out a box sound. We got the 4 sounds. We got the PR sound. We've got the running shoe Q&A sound. And then we've got rim shot and applause. I only have 4 buttons that I can choose from. So I got to figure out which one I'm going to get rid of. I'll probably get rid of the rim shot because I don't think we really need that sound. And then maybe I got to figure out what's a good box sound. I'm feeling something from like Super Mario Brothers is kind of where I'm going with that, or maybe something from Futurama. That show was about package delivery, by the way, so, all right, let's get to the box. It is from Kraft. I'm almost positive that it's not under embargo. I do have another package coming. It may already be here. I just have to go pick it up. Where I got the email about it, and they're like, we're sending you 2 shoes. One you can talk about now, and the other one you can't talk about for like 4 months. And I was like, don't send it to me now. Like, I don't want it. But you know what I decided I'm going to do? I'll leave it in the box, and I'm going to write on it in Sharpie. And then when I put it up on the wall for myself, it'll be like a reminder. I can't talk about this shoe for several months. So that's what I think I'm going to do. But this one, I'm pretty sure I could talk about it now. I've already seen some other people talk about this shoe on the internet, if it's what I think it is. These Kraft boxes are always really nice. Kraft Tailored Motion. It is the Kraft. Let's see if we get some focus. Of course not today. Let me just read it to you. We got the Kraft Nordlite Ultra in ash white / N light. I don't know what that means. And here it is. Like a lot of Kraft road shoes, it looks like it's a trail shoe, but it's a road shoes from what I understand. And it's with their CR foam, which is a different midsole material than what I'm familiar with in the CTM Ultra Carbon and Ultra Carbon 2. Upper looks like more of like a regular daily training upper. I'm liking that. Nice and comfy back here. There we go. There we go. This design, a lot of this is kind of like reminding me of like a Ultra Boost a little bit. I mean, the rest of the shoe certainly not like an Ultra Boost, but like this larger Achilles flare, this little trapezoidal spot. It feels a little bit dense. I'm a little bit worried about that. Got nice little indentations and lots of cutouts. Oh, we got some focus now. Here we go. Got an Ortholite liner. So looking forward to seeing how that one turns out. All right. Luis wants to know how squishy is the midsole. It still feels a little bit on the dense side. I mean, I don't like to squeeze the shoes. You know, I don't feel like that's always that helpful. I know a lot of people do it, but it's not for me. I don't like to do it. Martha said they look heavy. They are very tall. It's a big shoe. It doesn't seem like it's going to fit on my foot, but it's the right size, at least according to the box. Let me double check. Cause I mean, look at this big, look at this. A lot of junk in the trunk here. It's a big wide thing. And I'm squeezing the Charmin and it's pretty dense. Sometimes I don't think it's ever happened, but I always check every time I think like a shoe looks big. I double check to make sure if, oh, that insert was really heavy. It's just a piece of cardboard. Now it's feeling a little bit lighter. It's the right size. US 9, UK 8. Here it is. Daniel Burton wants to know, what are the spots? This is just the Kraft logo. Calvin Hong says, I don't want to squeeze the shoe. And then CV76 notices that I am squeezing it with both hands. I didn't want to, but you guys kept asking about it. It came up in conversation, you know. So Smalls 26 wants to know, is that a KRC prototype? No, I don't think so. Although I do like big, tall shoes. So, but no, it's not. Sleeve Singer says, not a running question, but the ring you have around your ring finger, I see many people wear in different colors. Is that because of the sweat and not wanting to break out? Do only men do that? This one, yeah. I get asked about this probably like a couple times a week. And I switch colors. I had a lime green yellowish one before. I didn't love that color. I just didn't think it worked well on my skin tone, and I kept meaning to change it, and I just had it for like 6 months. And I switched up to a different one. I have a white one. I also bought a black one because I was figuring as long as I buy one, I'll buy two. Because they're not that expensive. I wear mine because my wedding ring doesn't fit anymore. My wedding ring is a lot bigger, so if I wear it, it'll fall right off. So that's the main reason for me. I think other people wear it for like if they're in the weight room, it might hurt, or if they're like rock climbing, it might, be painful. These are like soft and like rubber bandy, Nicholas Greenfield wants to know, Nova Blast 3 or Super Blast for a daily trainer? I prefer the Nova Blast 3. I like the Super Blast for more of like a workout shoe. I also feel the same about the Invincible. Someone was talking about the Invincible a second ago. I don't like the Invincible at like everyday paces. I really don't like it at recovery paces. Super Blast, I don't mind at some of those other paces, but for me, it's like, doesn't make sense to me a lot unless I'm running at like a workout. So like if I'm working at like marathon effort, then that's when I really like it. So Adam says he chatted with Jared yesterday, still adapting to super shoes. He says it's more stress on the posterior chain, especially in the hamstrings. It's interesting. Doesn't he help develop them though for Saucony? Like, can he work on one that, or are we talking about a different Jared? I don't know. Adam wants to know about that CTM, what was it called? The Nordlite Ultra. Yeah, he wants to sit. The insole sit lower than the sidewalls. Yeah, so like not by a ton, but yeah, you are sitting inside this a little bit. So you're not sitting on top of it like all the way up here. Your ankle's, kind of sitting lower in there. And this flare up here, which is more prominent on the medial side than the lateral side. It asks more of like a ankle support than it does like cushioning foam in that spot, in that particular spot. But yeah. Let's see. Like, I mean, look at these treads. I feel like I got to take this out. Well, I mean, I feel like this is great for the trails that I run around here. You know what I mean? But there's a lot. I mean, this heel is designed for like coming down really big, unstable downhills, which I don't have too many of those around here. I'll just leave this up here because you guys keep wanting to talk about it, and that's fine. Frank says the 9 dots are because Kraft put their headquarters next to a stream with 9 rocks in it just to one up Saucony. Yeah, they like we're like, oh yeah, you got 3, we're gonna go 3 squared, that's 9, we got 9 rocks. Maybe that's what it is. That's like an inside Kafuzi Run Club joke at this point. That's a deep cut. Srini Vayapuri says, hey Co, ran Bayshore half marathon last Saturday, great race, did a PR, awesome. Ooh. Running a 1:34:46, which is a 15-minute PR. That's more than a minute per mile faster. That's crazy. John G 8-inch tights, the A6 Ventilate, Active Breeze singlet, and Endorphin 3. Next is Chicago Marathon. Nice. That's a good outfit. That's good. That's nice and comfy. JJ and Sienna says, Sienna, my 3-year-old approves of the orange. Who made the comment earlier about orange, the bright orange of 2022 still going strong in 2023? That's really funny. I don't know who said that. I forget. It was a little bit earlier. Yeah, that is funny. I'm also, well, like, here's the thing. In my brain, a lot of times, this kind of orange and like the pink of the On Cloud Surfer are kind of similar-ish. That's how I know my brain sees them differently, but I kind of group them together. And so like today were the rabbit orange shorts. I feel like this would have been a good short to have on. See, look at that. What are these? The 5-inch Speedster? No, they're not Speedsters. I forget what they are. The ones with the laser cut holes, which I'm not sure are actually cut by lasers, but I keep calling them laser cut holes. Yeah. So, but I feel like that would go well with this. The color's still very popular. All right. Adam first says that Jared Ward says he said that the super shoes push you more forward on your feet, which puts more strain on the hamstrings. It's better long run, but adaptation interim. He wore prototype elites with newer, softer foam. Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and look. That's very interesting. That is interesting news, Adam. I already thought that the Endorphin Elite was very soft. I know, you know what? When I talked to Believe in the Run about it, they were like, it's firmer than the Endorphin Pro 3. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? I don't understand. They have like, oh, that reminds me. Someone asked about grit, and I'll get to you too. Yeah, so like that reminds me, I'm gonna be going out for the party. I wasn't invited, but I just asked when it was gonna be, and then Thomas told me, and so I booked plane tickets because I'm gonna go. But I assume I'm invited. But anyway, I'm going. And one of the things that I want to do is I'm gonna bring my Endorphin Elite and my Rocket X2 because I feel like my Endorphin Elite are nice and super squishy, and I love them. And I feel like my Rocket X2 are touch firm, and I like them. They're a big improvement from what they had, but I don't love them. They're the opposite on those two shoes. So like, I'm just going to have to see if like, did we get different shoes? Because I feel like for both of those shoes, we all got well, not like, we didn't get them from like the store. You know what I mean? We got them early from the respective manufacturers. So like, I mean, I guess technically that might be pre-production. So I'm like, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. Calvin said, it would have been nice if Believe in the Run Summer Grit had Active Breeze singlets. Did not sign up for that exact reason. Oh, really? That's an expensive singlet, though. That would be more than that singlet would be worth more than the cost of grit. That's the thing. That's probably why. That reminds me, I was going to sign up yesterday and I totally forgot. And I even saw lots of social media about it. I saw Robbie had a discount code, Ben Johnson had a discount code, and I was like, I'm going to use one of their discount codes and sign up. And now I think it's more expensive. I think if you sign up the first day, it's the cheapest, and then the second day it's more expensive by like $5 or something like that. And then I don't know if it goes up or whatever. But I think the merch is the heavy cotton tee with the kanji on it. I think if that's what it is, then I definitely want that one. You know. But yeah, that just reminds me I have to do it. Today is not a good day for me. I'm behind on everything. I was behind on the video. I was behind on my run. I was only able to get an hour in. It was just a tough day for me. And my wife, who has been trying to be very helpful all morning, she was just kind of like rubbing salt in the wounds. I was still working on the video and I was like grumpy about it that the video wasn't done yet because that means I was going to have a shorter run, and I'm just freaking out about the morning. She comes downstairs from her office and she's like, "Hey, I'm surprised you're still here." And I'm like, "I know, tell me about it." So I was grumpy about it. And then I got back from my run, which was short because everything in the morning took too long. And then I went upstairs just to grab like a shirt to put on because I didn't have a shirt on. And she's like, "Hey, don't you have a live stream now? What's going on?" I'm like, "I know, I'm late." So she's been meaning well, and I've been snapping at her all morning, which is not cool. So I owe her an apology. But I don't know why I even brought that up. I'm just in a ranty mood. Yeah. It's about, you know what? The days that the internet is grumpy always falls on days when I'm grumpy, and it's just a bad combo, you know? So I just need to take a step back, take a deep breath. Carlos Grego says he signed up for Grit yesterday. Stoked. Nice. And Calvin says, I don't think it was a heavy cotton tee. It's just normal tech tee, unless he's wrong. Okay, I'll go take a look. I'm going to sign up either way. But I will look at what the merch is, because I really like the hat from the Winter Grit, but I already had the long sleeve, so I didn't need it. So I said, there's an option to not get the merch. So I didn't get the merch last time, although Megan, I think, sent me a hat. So we'll see if I get the merch this time. Oh, Sega Dreamcast says the heavy tee is an extra. They have Believe in the Run A6 shirts for guys and a singlet for women. Oh, okay. All right. Daniel Burton wants to know if I'm doing any 5Ks this year. Sorry for the long pause there. I was just reading the chat, and I'm realizing that whenever I do that, sometimes there's just dead air broadcasting to people's headphones if they're listening to this. For the 3 people that listen to this on podcast, they just get dead air for a couple of seconds. I hope you guys are okay with that. Do I need like filler music? Time to read some chat and like a sound, I don't know. That doesn't work for me. But Daniel Burton says, am I doing any 5Ks this year? I was just thinking about that. I got invited to go run the Itasca Oktoberfest 5K, the one that I set my 5K PB in last year. They invited me to come back. And I might do that one. I might do that one. Maybe I'll do that one with my daughter. I think that would be fun for her to do if she feels like doing one. I'm not going to make her, but I think that'd be fun to do. But so I might do that. I would like to do a 5K. I looked at the email again for the Twilight 5000 in Chicago. And I was like, I don't know why I thought that someone had asked me about it earlier and then I had a conflict, but it didn't look like I had a conflict on the one day. I just have to drive into the city on a weeknight, but it'll be during the summer, so it's not going to be a huge deal. So maybe I'll do that. I'm not sure. I don't know. Adam says, like, I should have, whenever I'm reading stuff, just have the Jeopardy song. Oh, I like that a lot. Someone said I should just do some heavy breathing. Yeah, no. Although I do think that sometimes that just happens, where I'm just like breathing a lot. Miguel says that he signed up for Summer Grit with his Mexico address. 1, because he's cheap, and 2, because he didn't want the merch. Well, there you go. That's a fun way to do it. Dan Dalton says, I haven't seen you review a Nike in a bit. Any chance to look at the ZoomX Zagama Trail? That's quite a name, huh? I feel like that sounds like ZoomX Zagama Trail. That sounds like it's a prescription medicine. Ask your doctor for more information. He says they're on discount in the UK right now, and he's seen some good reviews. I've heard only good things. Like I saw, what was it? Ginger Runner did. He does the thing where he does 2 loops of the trail, one in one shoe and one in the other. I feel like I saw him do that one in the Zagama early. I feel like it's going to feature prominently. I'm surprised it's on discount right now. I feel like it's going to feature prominently right at Western States this year. I have a feeling we'll see it on a lot of people's feet. I don't know about the pro athletes, but like I feel like it'll be on a lot of people's feet. It looks exciting to me. It looks like the kind of trail shoe that I like, but I don't know that I'll review it. I'm still working on the Peg Trail 4. And then I do have another Nike shoe coming in. I think I did another Peg 40 custom or a Pegasus custom for the Peg 40 this year. And I got an email over the weekend saying that it's done. It seems like it was a long time ago that I ordered it, but they say it takes about a month now. And I think it's been about a month. So I should be getting that anytime soon. So that'll be like the next Nike review. I don't do a lot of Nike reviews. I'm trying to find other creative ways to like, I don't really want to do Nike reviews. Did I tell you guys that I got reached out to participate in like the launch of the Pegasus 40? Not participate in like any weird like major way, just like was it discount codes and stuff like that, but and referral links. But I was like, no thanks. And then they asked me why I didn't want to participate. But yeah, but I'll do one. I'll do a review of the Peg 40. It's just because it's always been my favorite. It had been my favorite shoe for so long. I liked it so much, and it's what got me back into running. It relates to the budget shoe conversation we had. A lot of people, like someone on the internet today was like, I run in $50 ASICs and I think they're great. And I think and he called me douchey for saying that a $110 shoe is a budget shoe. And I was like, I know this guy just wants to pick a fight, and the best thing to do is just delete the comment. But I'm just like, I don't know, man. I ran in a lot of $50 shoes, and I also disliked running a lot at the same time, coincidentally at the same time. So like, I don't know. I don't think it is, but that doesn't answer your question, Dan. I'm sorry about that. No, I'm probably not going to review the Zagama Trail. I just don't review that as many trail shoes. I think I got enough space for like 1 or 2 more trail reviews. I don't love reviewing trail shoes either. I love running in the woods. I love running in trail shoes, but like making trail running review videos sometimes is hard for my mental health, let me tell you. So that's another reason why, I like to not review them as much. Shannon wants to know, what's the last Pegasus that you actually really loved, though? 36. It was a good vintage. So it's been a good 4 years now since they've had a good one. 37 is when they went to React. And I had been begging for it for years. I got what I asked for, and I hated it. You know what I mean? So it's like, careful. So. Eric, though, says, I think I had one of the early pegs, one of them from the 90s, and he never went back. So you didn't like it? Yeah, I've been running in the Pegasus since the 32. I feel like before, like when I was in high school, the Pegasus were kind of like really expensive. I didn't run. That's when I ran in like budget shoes. I ran in a lot of ASICs in high school. I had some Nike spikes, but I ran in mostly ASICs, if I recall correctly. Although I didn't really pay much attention to what I was wearing. But yeah, my earliest experience was the 32. And then I run in basically like every Pegasus since then. The trails, the shields, many of the shields. I stopped running in the shields when they started making peg trails. But I think I skipped the Peg Trail 3. I think I skipped the last couple of peg. I did up to the Peg 36. Or I don't think Did I do the 37? I think I did the 37 shield. So there's a lot. There's a handful that I skipped, but there's been a lot of Pegasus variations, and I've done most of them. Just kind of out of habit at this point. Run the World says, and this is one of the things that I'm trying to like tell people. I'm not trying, everyone's like, oh, it's because he works for Big Shoe or whatever ridiculous like conspiracy theory like that, But my central premise really, and I feel like I've been quoted as saying this in a couple of interviews too. But Run the World says, once I got out of budget shoes, I realized what a running shoe really was, and that's one of my central premises and kind of like the raison d'être of the channel, really, of doing shoe reviews, is that like, you can run in what you got. If that's all you got is what you got, great. It could be hiking boots, it could be work boots, steel-toed, whatever. Get out there and get moving. Don't let what you got on your feet or what you don't have on your feet stop you. What you have is plenty. But like, there's a lot of times where I didn't like running, and I'm not blaming the shoes entirely, but like once I got into shoes that were a little bit better, it made everything go a little bit smoother, So that's kind of how I feel about a lot of the shoe reviews and the more expensive shoes, Dreamcast says, watch out for Big Shoe. I've been watching a lot of Uncle Roger on YouTube lately. He just got into my algorithm, and I've just been enjoying it. It's really funny. And apparently he had a paid promotion with an MSG company. And the comments were like, oh my goodness, big MSG has finally gotten to Uncle Roger. Now they're sponsoring his content. And I just thought that was really funny. The idea that there's this like big, like multinational conglomerate of MSG manufacturers trying to infiltrate social media. Yeah, I think that's kind of funny. Dan Dalton says, I'm the same age as the Pegasus. Both of us turned 40 this year, and both of us are getting average reviews. I really like that. I really like that. Fitness 2 says, you got a pair of Nike Pegasus Trail 36 Gore-Tex for $70 brand new. That's an old shoe, but that's a good price. I have a hard time finding older shoes sometimes. Someone today, I don't know if it was a typo, someone today commented in one of my YouTube shorts that they really wish that they had a pair of Takumi Sen 3. And I'm like, Takumi Sen 3? I don't even know what that looks like. I'm like, what? I'm like, I don't know. I think you need a time machine to go pick up a pair of those. So I don't know how you would even get that. But I always worry about like buying new old shoes. You know what I mean? It's like, I know they're made out of petrochemical products for the most part, right? And they're not exactly going to biodegrade quickly. But it's like, there's something about the idea. Like if someone was like, here's an original Nike Pegasus 11. Would you like to go run a fartlek in this? I'd be like, let's just take some nice pictures of it and then maybe put it up on the shelf and look at it. I don't know that I want to run in that. I think 36, that's a 4-year-old shoe now. I think that's fine. I don't think there's any problem with that. But I know that it's hard for me to get shoes that are old. See, this is where we need some, I think maybe some background music. Sometimes I just hum. Have you guys noticed that? That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just filling it like that. See, there's just humming that goes in the background. I'm reading comments. So those of you that are listening, that's what's happening. Frank says he has an Uncle Roger, but he's not Asian. That's really funny. I do not have an Uncle Roger, Asian or otherwise. Runner Dre, what's going on? Runner Dre says, I've missed many live streams, but I caught up on the guest appearances and they've been really interesting. Nice guests. Thanks. I've been enjoying the guests, and I was thinking like maybe I should have themes for every month, But then I just feel like that's going to make things unnecessarily complicated. We had a theme for last month, but I feel like I can do one theme month a year, and then after that, it's just going to be who's doing something interesting that I'm going to work on. I got to reach out to Martinez Evans. His book comes out on June 6th, at least on audio. And so I'd like to have him on after I read the book, because I feel like that would be a much more helpful conversation to have if I've already read it, or, read it in air quotes. I listen to it on audiobook. So I'm probably just going to ask him a million questions about recording the audiobook. But, I'll see if he's available. He's doing like a crazy book tour. He's everywhere. Have you been following his Instagram account? He's got all these dates coming up. So I'm really excited for him. I wish him the best. Alan has a great question. What's an old shoe that you would like to find again? I feel like I'd like to find a Beacon, like a Beacon 3 New Balance. Like if there's an old one lying around, New Balance, I'd love to have it, especially if you got two, because then I can run in the one and then just save the other one as like a trophy. Actually, I only need one. I'll just run in it one time to see, or every once in a while I'll bust it out and go for an easy run and see if it's still as good as I remember it, or if I'm just like, what was I thinking? Or, the review is a relic or a function of the time, in comparison to other shoes. This was really innovative. And then they discontinued it. I understand why they discontinued it. They had too many shoes. There was like the great purge of New Balance, because they had like the Zonte, they had the Beacon. There was like 17 kinds of Zonte. I think there still are some Zontes, but they're sold at like Kohl's as like fashion shoes. But like there was the Zonte Pursuit, there was like a Zonte something else, then there was a whole bunch of like and then they still had all their numbered shoes, which they still have all their numbered shoes now, but like it was just so much more confusing back then. But the Beacon 3 is one that I'd like to find again. I'd also and I still look around on StockX every once in a while for the Vaporfly 4% in Blue Fox. Like that was the best colorway. I mean, the Proto colorway was also super nice, but like the Blue Fox is one that I never was able to get, and I always really wanted that one. That's one that I would like to get too. Just because that one was so pretty. And that's another one where I'm like, I'd run in that too. But it's like, oh, by this point though, that would be like a 7-year-old shoe, something like that. 6-year-old shoe. Does it still run? Yeah, I don't know. Galvan says it's the new game. What's the song Ko is humming? So like, I don't know if you guys have picked up on it, but I like to make up games, especially when like we're bored. And so I forget what happened, but it's a game that I invented to play with the nieces and nephews. And like, there was one, I don't know if it was like a summer vacation. There's like a week where we were over at grandma's house. I think so it was. It might've been over a winter break. I forget, but the song name was called Hum That Tune. So like name that tune, but with humming. And so like basically all the kids would take a turn and you would hum a song and everyone would have to guess it. And it's a game that everyone can play, and then like it was pretty fun. Even like the really, really little ones could play it, but like they're not that good at humming because they're very little. Like when my kid was like 4 years old. And so, but like she's trying to hum a song and like everyone's guessing and she's like, that's not it. And she had to keep humming it every once in a while. And then she might start sneaking in some words, as she played. So that's actually hum that tune is actually a pretty fun game. I can vouch for that. Adam Pierce says, whenever I see the New Balance, the NB abbreviation here, I think of New Balance. I do too. And it takes me a while to think of Nova Blast. That's definitely something that happens all the time. And someone did say if I've ever tried the Nova Blast Trail, that's this shoe right here. I like it a lot. It doesn't feel like much of a trail shoe to me, but like it's fun. I ran in it at the shakeout run before the Cherry Blossom 10 mile. It was like a horribly rainy day. We were running down some really steep hills and great traction. So, I mean, it works. I think of it more of like maybe more of an urban trail kind of shoe is what I like it for. Nicholas Holland said about old shoes. We'll do this one and then one more. And then I got to get going for today. I'm going to try to squeeze in another run before the kids get home. Nicholas Holland says, what about an old Peg Turbo? I wish I could have tried it. It's talked about like the trainer of all trainers, but I'm a bit too young and I missed his time. So that's a great question, but I have 2 pairs now. Where'd it go? So I bought a pair when I bought all those shoes off eBay just to do like a bunch of like eBay shoes, and I bought a used pair. But I was also like, I don't know if I'm gonna get. I don't know what I'm getting. The person didn't know how many miles were on it. He quote unquote was selling it for his friend. He says his friend thought there's maybe 50 miles on it. So I was like, I don't know what I'm getting. So I bought a different pair though. Mark Peterson sold me an old pair. So I have this peg turbo as well, and this is nice. It's as I remember it. It's really, really nice. It's a good shoe. That was a good shoe. I wish they would bring it back. I don't know why there isn't a Peg Turbo 3, but I have 2 pairs of Peg Turbos now. Oh, where'd it go? It just goes back on the shelf though. And then I also went back and bought an old pair of the Epic React. So that was also in the video too. And this also was a good shoe. I feel like if I were in charge at Nike, there's a lot of house cleaning that I would do. Number one, that's a bit more important thing I would change. But in terms of like, let's say I was just in charge of shoes, I'd bring back a Peg Turbo and I'd bring back an Epic React. You know, easy lift. Don't change them that much. Update it. I don't know if we're going to change the last a little bit. Just give me a little bit more room in the toes for each of those shoes, but keep everything else the same. People won't be too mad because they haven't had it in a long time. So now they get fresh pairs and then we'll start iterating for the next one, you know? So that's the thing that I would do. One of the many things I would do. But yeah. All right. Last question for today. Duke B wants to know, are you getting the Triumph 21? You know, I thought they would have just sent it to me at this point. I've seen a lot of people get it, but I did mention at TRE and in my TRE video that I'm not super interested in the Triumph 21 because I love the Triumph 20, but I think the Triumph 21 is going to be a very minor update. I think the only real difference is going to be the heel tab, the pull tab on the heel. It goes from like a stretchy piece to an actual like loop. I think that's about it. I think the midsole and outsole are going to be exactly the same. What I'm super interested in trying is like the 21 plus. I forget what they're calling it, but it is a eco-friendly version. So it's like, I don't know if it's like 100% like bio-based midsole foam or just like a really high percentage. I forget what exactly it is, but like their Eco Triumph, they told me it's a little bit firmer than they'd like for a Triumph series, but you know, they got to start making them you got to start somewhere before like, you know, before the new way becomes the way. You got to start. And so that's what I'm super excited to test out and hopefully I'll like it. So I don't know when that's coming. I did see, you know, I also very curious about the Kinvara Pro and I've been wondering about it so much and I've heard so little about it. I guess I should just send an email to Saucony. Where's my notebook? I think it's upstairs. I gotta add that to my to-do list. I should ask them when those shoes are coming. Because I was like, I feel like the Kinvara Pro is vaporware at this point. No one has seen it. I haven't heard anyone talk about it. But then I thought I saw someone say that like they're getting theirs next week. And they were excited about it. I don't know. So we'll have to see what Saucony's up to for the rest of the year. So we'll see. All right. Tomorrow, let's play a game tomorrow because I'm all off. Monday I did an unboxing. Normally on Tuesdays I do the trivia. Today's Tuesday, but tomorrow we'll do a trivia Tuesday. It's gonna be a game in the vein of name that shoe, but it's not gonna be shoes. And I don't want to give you hints because then you guys are all gonna do some research and homework, and then that's not gonna be fun. So it's gonna be a fun game. Hopefully it'll be a fun game tomorrow, but we're gonna play. It's gonna be name that something. And I'll show you a picture. You got to guess what it is. All right. So that's going to be tomorrow. No video, but we'll just play the game during live stream, same time as today, 1 p.m. Central Time. Hopefully I'll see you then. In the meantime, be safe out there, everybody. Thanks. Bye.